MNFL, what's happening? What's good? We're back, man. We finally got some content out here for you, man. It's week 9. We here with the rookie review. And it was crazy draft, man. It was crazy draft. After I did a breakdown of what was going on and see who got drafted in the first round, ooh-wee. There's a lot of surprises, man. One thing I give EA credit for, man, it definitely sprinkled in, at least to this first draft. It was a little lackluster last, man, but at least in this draft, it did sprinkle in some good talent in the first couple of rounds, man. So we got some good talent out there, some good talent out there. So let's take a look. So we got picks 1 through 32, man, and it's definitely some development out here, man. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff. As you can see, it's a lot of S's, a lot of S's and X's. Yeah, man. I mean, people drafted for need, not speed. This draft, I think that was the case. But there's some good talent out here, man. There's definitely some people that are going to be staples for the league for the whole entire length of Madden. I think your first round picks for the first season is definitely going to be some people that's going to stick with you long term, hopefully. And if you win position, skill position, we could be talking about perennial Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame type guys by the time it's all said and done. So let's get into it. So of course the Jets had the first overall pick. They had a rough season last year, to say the least. But my man Ace Mack is still battling. It looks like he needed to find a successor for Le'Veon Bell, so he went running back first round. He went with a guy by the name of Caleb Lehman, halfback, superstar development. Looks like Caleb plays a little bit. He has 58 carries. Now, mind you, all these totals are before the start of Week 9's game. So, they, of course, assuming Daddy Leagues was right at this point in time, we're going to go with these stats. And, he has 58 carries for 303 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, it looks like he's splitting a little workload with Le'Veon. So, he hadn't got a breakout game, at least completed one. So, he's still superstar status, and he's got 469 snaps at this point. So, if he has a lot of snaps, in the next game he just played, he could be over it by now. But, as a Week 9, he was definitely hidden with a superstar development trait hidden in the background. So it'll be interesting to see what abilities he gets. The second pickup was the Falcons pick. Let me make this a little larger for you guys. Let's see here. Let's share. And let's do that. All right, so we got Mr. Junior Woodard, and for the second pick was the right end. Normal development, surprisingly. 5 tackles so far for the Falcons, so it looks like he plays sparingly, or he's just not getting in the block sheds, in the run game, because he only has 5 tackles up to this point, but he plays a little bit at least. He definitely gets some snaps. So we'll see how he does going forward. But if you check Daddy League site, if you're logged in, you can view the draft from 1 to 32. Click on them, see who got drafted and where their stats are. So definitely easy, win for us as far as doing the breakdowns now, because Daddy League provides us with some content. But yeah, so we got Junior with they feel like they need to solidify their right end position. I think was it Takk McKinley and Vic Beasley are both gone now from the Falcons. So I guess they wanted to shore up that D line with Grady Jarrett. So the third pick, we got a guy by the name of Vincent Baber, halfback, superstar development as well. He plays for the Lions. He has 59 carries up to this point, 385 yards and 3 touchdowns. No development games that were completed or breakout games that were done. So he's still a superstar development at this point, and he has 424 snaps. So he's getting close to that, breaking out that development trait, and we'll see what kind of abilities he gets. And I believe that both Caleb and Vince are both like receiving, scat back kind of guys, under 200 pounders. So yeah, maybe more, utilizing the pass game versus running the ball, but they're definitely getting some carries in the backfield. So next up is the Bucks pick. I'm trying to understand how the Bucks got the 4th overall pick, but trades have happened. I mean, I didn't, so much happened now, I probably didn't miss it, but. Yeah, so we're trying to see who Tom Brady's successor is going to be. He took the best quarterback in the draft, guy by the name of Eli Badagalaya. I'm going to say it that way. I probably got it wrong. Star development quarterback. Pretty good stats. I think he's really mobile. So he starts, apparently. This little number is a little bit low, so maybe he's sharing stats with Tom Brady. I'm not sure, because Tom's still there. But I wonder what's going on with this, because, the number's a little low for him to be playing. And as much as Jalen throws the ball, let's just be real. Once Jalen throws the ball, it's no way that this guy's played every snap starting for them. Tom Brady must fell in at some point. See, kind of got like a dual quarterback going, like a Drew Brees, Taysom Hill kind of situation. I don't know. But he's amassed 320 snaps, which is, quarterback been on the field every snap. Running backs got a little bit more than that have been drafted ahead of him. So I like to believe he don't play every down, but he plays. So he done enough to get him some stats. So next pick was the Steelers pick, auto pick, quarterback Garrison Sprinkle. Spazzy didn't pick it. I'm not going to talk about it. It is what it is. Bears pick next. They went O-line. I picked one of the better linemen in the draft. A guy by the name of PJ Fiore, right guard, normal development. So, lineman, that's his pick. Not much to talk about, but he's trying to solidify that O-line. Bears had been notoriously bad in the O-line perspective, so he's trying to shore that up for his quarterback. So the Titans pick next. This is the first splash of the draft. The Titans picked the right end by the guy by the name of Marcus Redmond, superstar X Factor, out the gate with the 7th pick. He plays a lot. He's completed all his snaps as well. He has 12 tackles and 2 sacks. So look out for Mr. Redmond. The Titans are doing well for themselves. I think they have Ryan Kerrigan still, and they got him on the other end. So they got a decent pass rush over there, I'm telling you. Yeah, so they will scare you, if anything else. They will definitely scare you from a defense perspective as far as getting a pass rush going. The next pickup is the Jaguars pick. They picked Junior Davis, D tackle, normal development. He only has 1 tackle to speak of. So, doesn't mean he doesn't play a lot. Of course, they don't track snaps when it comes to normal development guys. So, we don't know exactly how much he plays, but he's definitely on the D-line in some facets of the game with that 1 tackle. So, yeah, so we'll see how Junior hangs in with Taven Bryan and those guys. And actually, it's pretty good D-line right now. You got Caleb Chason, you got Josh Allen, you got Taven Bryan, and then you got him. So that's definitely decent front 4, especially in your nickel packages. So yeah, them boys might be a wrecking crew coming down the line if they get some development going on. So next up is the Broncos pick. They had back-to-back picks, and I think that Devin ended up having that issue with the they fixed it obviously with the issue with the draft where you couldn't select your player, that kind of crap. So he had to auto pick his players, but they didn't do him dirty. I'll tell you that. They gave him 2 good players. John Simpson, cornerback with star development. He plays. He's completed all his snaps. He has 8 tackles from the cornerback spot. No picks yet. The next pick was Emmanuel Maynard, superstar, X Factor, strong safety. He definitely plays. He's completed all his 500 snaps, and he has 11 tackles, a sack, and 2 picks at this point. So although Devin told me he didn't really want to draft the safety, I'm sure he's not mad that he got this guy. So yeah, that's a good pickup for the Broncos in that defense. They would need to show up some things on the defensive side. So they definitely did them secondary well by drafting a good corner and good safety. The next pickup was the Patriots pick. They drafted a wide receiver. Widely regarded as one of the better, if not the best receiver in the draft, by the name of Damar Allen. Damar Allen has 257 yards and 4 touchdowns at this point. He's completed all his snaps, superstar development. So, and I believe he's the only wide receiver in the first round that came out as being superstar. If I'm not mistaken. So, no, I lied. The Bills got one too. So it was 2 superstar receivers that came out of the draft. So Damar was one of the good ones. Coming out of the first round that were going to be staples for that passing game for Cam Newton. So we'll see what Damar does, as far as competing for the Rookie of the Year status. Next up is the Dolphins pick. Dolphins picked D tackle by the name of Brandon Hartwig, normal development, but he's definitely created havoc in the front. You got to tell you, 4 tackles, 3 sacks at this point, through 9 games. So that's definitely good from an interior lineman position. So yeah, man, he's doing some work out there. So I would like to see that development probably go up at some point. If not, during the season, maybe at the end. The next pick was the Raiders. The Raiders went safety as well. I'm not sure if I think Coach had that issue too. So they ought to pick a safety for him. But he was one of the better safeties in the draft as well by a guy by the name of Jason Drake. Free safety, normal development. He plays a lot though. He has 11 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. But he took one back to the house. So yeah, shouts out to Jason Drake. I'm Caden a little bit because he's in my division, but as long as we stay away from him and Abram, we'll be all right. All right, so Jaguars had another pick in the first round. Looks like they went corner this time, and they went with a guy by the name of Nathan Wake. He's at 13 tackles, 4 picks at this point, and he's has gotten a development game up to this point. He's like the only one. So he's up there star now. He started off with normal development, but he's up to star. And he finished all his snaps. And since he got upgraded from normal to star, they don't count the snaps, which is a bug in the game. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so he went up from normal to star already. So he's putting some work in. So yeah, he's got him up to star. So look for him to build in that defense. I mean, with looks like the Jaguars defense is something to be reckoned with, to be honest. Because you got, just from the previous draft they had with C.J. Henderson and Kayvon Kason, and they already had Josh Allen and then Taven Bryan. So he drafted a D tackle to go along with Taven in the interior, and he drafted another corner to go to the other side of CJ. So yeah, so they looking all right. Year 2 or 3, from here now, they might be talking about, in the lead secondary like they had when Jalen Ramsey was there. So yeah, man, shouts out to Los. All right, man. So who's up next? We got the Panthers pick. They went D tackle as well. A guy by the name of Trent York. He's a star development guy. No development trade upgrades at this point. 7 tackles, 2 sacks. So he's definitely getting work in next to was it Derek Brown for the Panthers. So the interior line for Jokey's looking pretty good. You got Brian Burns on the edge. I think you got another edge rusher, some no-name guy that he's been boosting. So you definitely got a good D-line out there in Carolina. All right, next up is the Chiefs pick. They went O-line. Nothing sexy about it. They got a center by the name of Cole Watkins. O-line was getting a little long in the tooth, so I guess he felt he needed to address that issue. Eagles pick was next, and another splash. Eagles picked, and this was actually picked by Rel. It wasn't a draft glitch, and he had to get auto picked. He drafted a cornerback by the name of Pat Matthews. Pat Matthews came out of the box as Superstar X Factor. So, and he completed all his snaps already. He has 11 tackles, 1 forced fumble from a cornerback spot. I think that might have been the forced fumble Joe might have been complaining about. And 1 interception. So, yeah, so Pat Matthews is going to be a staple for that Eagles defense. And him alongside Darius Slay, man, that's a formidable tandem. They looking pretty good out there. And that pass rush is a leader, obviously. So, yeah, man. The Eagles going to surprise some people. They had some money issues, early on, but rectify that. And, and Rel has an affinity for drafting stars. I don't know how he does it, but, I don't know. It just maybe fall, the luck of the Irish. I don't know. So I'm not Irish. I can't tell you. But regardless, he drafts very well. So his team should be, his young guys should definitely build for the future. Definitely that. So next up is the Vikings pick. They went D-line as well. A guy by the name of Quentin Davis. He's normal development, but he does play. He got a tackle in the sack up to this point. So he's definitely holding down the edge on that Vikings D-line. So I think they still got Yannick Ngakoue. So yeah, those 2 bookend ends should be pretty good for the Vikings, going forward. Next up is the Cowboys pick. They picked up George Allen left end. I guess he needed somebody to go on the side of other side of DeMarcus Lawrence. Normal development guy. He has 6 tackles and a forced fumble up to this point. So he's definitely, causing some havoc down there in that D-line. So the Bills pick was number 20. They picked up a wide receiver, and the second superstar wide receiver in the draft by a guy by the name of Byron Griffin. He has 11 receptions for 134 yards, but don't have any touchdowns just yet. He plays a lot of nights, so he might be a slot guy because he got 280 snaps. When people have gotten upwards to 500 or 460 something snaps if they play exclusively. So he might be a slot guy. They got Stephon Diggs out there, so he might be John Brown, I think. So they got he might be a slot guy, so they don't get a ton of snaps. So he's a little bit behind the curve, but he's superstar development. So hey, what can you complain about? That's it. So next up was the Cardinals pick. The Cardinals went outside linebacker. I guess they're looking towards the future in their linebacking core. So they went with a guy by the name of Dre Benson. He's star development. He has 5 total tackles at this point. He completed his snaps. So yeah, the Cardinals defense is trying to build around Isaiah and Buddha. And what's the boy's name? The pass rusher, Chandler Jones. Yeah, try to build around Chandler Jones. So yeah, so they definitely try to make some noise in that competitive NFC West. NFC West. So yeah, so Dre Benson is next in line to be the next superstar. Next up is the Browns pick. Now this is the first, ladies and gentlemen. The Browns, under the tutelage in 11 years of Madden, and I guess you can say almost 2 years of development, traits being a thing, Well, the development trait's been a thing for more than 2 years, but the Superstar X Factor thing has been, a thing for at least 2 years. And, The Browns have been notorious under Vincent Clark's tutelage of being bad drafting. But he hit the home run this time. He drafted an outside linebacker, an edge guy by the name of Charlie Elliott, who is superstar X Factor. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. We applaud you. We applaud you. But yeah, so he got a guy who's going to be a staple for that Browns defense for a good while. Somebody that's going to go other side of Myles Garrett and wreak havoc. Definitely give the quarterback limited time to throw the ball. So we'll see what Mr. Elliott does as far as winning awards at the end of the season. The next up was the Jets pick. Jets had another pick later in the draft for the first round, 23rd pick. They went D-line this time. Somebody going along with Quentin Williams, I think. Guy by the name of Dominic Pemberton. D-tackle. He has 3 tackles up to this point. No more development, no development upgrades just yet. So he's trying to show up that run defense for the Jets. Next up was the Washington football team. They went D-line as well. They went with a guy by the name of Byron Brewer, D-tackle. He has 3 tackles up to this point. No more development, no notable upgrades at this point. So he's a project, they're trying to build in Washington. So next up is the Dolphins pick. Again, I think the Dolphins is the second pick they had in the first round. They drafted a outside linebacker by the name of Dwayne Wilburn, normal development guy. 4 tackles up to this point, and no notable upgrades for his dev yet. So the Eagles had a second pick in the first round, and they went wide receiver this time around. Guy by the name of Mike Culliver, who was star development. But Mike doesn't play a lot yet. I mean, let's say this: with 318 snaps, he doesn't get the ball a lot, but he definitely is in the lineup. So he has 1 reception for 7 yards. That's it. So yeah, we're waiting on Mike to break out. We're definitely waiting on him to break out. So yeah, so we're doing we're number 27 at this point. Looks like we have done with the development guys. Everybody else came out as being normal for the last back half of the draft, but there were some good players out there. I definitely was impressed with the talent level in this draft in the first couple of rounds. So with the 27th pick, the Bucks picked up JoJo McCurry. That was their second first round pick in the draft. They went right in, normal development, 2 tackles on the sack. So he's definitely playing, so he's definitely trying to make his presence known in that prominent pass rush for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So yeah, Cardinals picked again in the first round at 28. So they picked up a halfback to go along with Kid and Balaj. Guy by the name of Taj Purnell. I think he might be a receiving back as well. The Cardinals have an affinity for speedy receiving shifty backs. So yeah, I think he's one of those guys. 13 attempts rushing and 80 yards and 3 touchdowns. So yeah, he's definitely like a utility guy, seems to be. So next up was the Chargers pick at number 29. They picked up a wide receiver for their slot, a guy by the name of KJ Cummins, wide receiver. He was normal development. He has 20 receptions to this point now. He has 156 yards and a touchdown. No notable dev upgrades yet. We missed a star development game in the first game of the season. So, we probably won't see that again this year. But but he's definitely a staple, to go along with Ty and Keenan. So he definitely can put some work in out there. So next to Washington football team had another pick this draft in the first round, and they had to pick at 30. Guy by the name of Ed Lewis, right tackle. So they needed to fill that void, with left by Trent Williams and those guys. I think Brandon Scherf is still there, so he's trying to show up that O-line to help out Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, like I said, what a sexy pick, just right tackle, so we'll see how he develops down the line. So the Packers pick was number 31. They picked up a center, a guy named Antoine Harvin. So yeah, they're trying to shore up their O-line as well. And the Titans pick with number 32. They picked up a wide receiver, a guy by the name of Antoine Hubbard. He has 2 receptions for 18 yards at this point and 1 touchdown. So yeah, so these receivers aren't getting a whole lot of work just yet, I would say, but they definitely have some good attributes. They're definitely athletic. I mean, we're not talking 99 speed guys, but all of them are athletic and all of them can get the job done as far as their change of direction, their agility, their speed, in the early to mid 90s. So yeah, definitely appreciated the receiving core in this draft. It was definitely a deep receiving core draft, as well as a lot of people went front 7. A lot of people went D-line and right end, left end, still that linebacker. A couple of corners got drafted. So it was a pretty good showing in the first round. Let me know in the chat, man, so we can, next video we might be able to showcase anybody that was drafted as a superstar or an X factor in the later rounds. I only did the first round, obviously, so didn't have time to go through every single, round of the draft to pick these guys out. So if they got any notable things going on that's, noteworthy that you drafted in the second or through 7, let me know. So let's show next. Let's showcase these awards real quick before we get up out of here. We'll see how we guys doing from up to week 9 as far as who's competing for awards at the end of the season. So let's check that out. All right, so wake up the box here. All right, so for right now in NFL MVP race, Jonathan Taylor's leading the MVP race. Looks like he and Antonio Gibson are fighting for it. So it's still a runner's league, obviously. Miles Sanders is third, and then Dwayne Haskins is fourth, and him and Teddy Bridgewater are the only guys in the top 5 that are quarterbacks. Everybody else is running back. What you did so far, B-Man is holding down this top spot along with Biff Kingsbury, Kevin, and Tayo at 3rd, and Burf at 4, and looks like Theron at 5. All right, so going over to the AFC, Jonathan Taylor is number 1 in Offensive Player of the Year. Hell, if he's winning the MVP verse, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Joe Mixon's in the mix with his 1,000 carries in 2 games. Nick Chubb, always a staple. Matt Breida and J.K. Dobbins. So yeah, that's interesting because KC's not a big time runner, so he has his running back in the top 5 for Offensive Player of the Year. So it's saying something. So next up is Defensive Player of the Year. We got Javin White, Mr. Speedy. God knows what he is. I mean, linebacker. He's lighter. Like a 215 guy, but he plays linebacker and he runs really fast. So Dan out there running sideline to sideline with his user and getting big work out there. Second is Kevin Byard for the Titans. Third is Kenneth Murray for the Chargers. Jaron Wilson for the Jags, and Nathan Wake, who we just talked about, is 5. So yeah, Nathan Wake is definitely going to be a problem, boys. I'm telling you, Nathan Wake is going to be a problem. So Offensive Rookie of the Year, we got Caleb Lehman at number 1, and we talked about his stats already. DeMar Allen is number 2. KJ Cummins is number 3. Quincy Leonard, number 4, and Lacarius Dean. I think these 2 guys were later round guys because we didn't showcase them at all. So they're 4 and 5. So yeah, so definitely some young talent out there trying to make a name for themselves. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Nathan Wake. Just like I said, he's making a name for himself. So he's leading in the Rookie of the Year vote right now, followed by Jason Drake and Emmanuel Maynard. Then you got Terrell Martin and then John Simpson. Best quarterback, and I'm glad they fixed this. So this used to didn't display properly to like week 12. But for right now, they got it right. Derek Carr is number 1 in the best quarterback right now, behind Joe Burrow, which is very ironic when the Bengals run the ball 50 times a game. Then you got Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, and Josh Allen. Best running back, there should be no surprise because they're in pretty much in all our conversations. Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, J.K. Dobbins, and Melvin Gordon. Next up, wide receivers, you got Tyreek Hill, no surprise there. Paris Campbell, Henry Ruggs, DJ Chark, and Kenny Galladay. AJ Brown. Oh, so for a second I thought I was like, what did Antonio Brown do in the league? All right, so O-lineman Quentin Nelson. We're just gonna let that ride. D-line, you got Myles Garrett in here, number 1. Carl Nassib 2, Cameron Hayward 3, Jerry Hughes 4, and DeForest Buckner 5. 6, Javin Wade, no surprise. Kenneth Murray's 2, Von Miller's 3, Shaq Griffin 4, and Terrell Edmonds 5 for best linebacker. Best DB, we got Jared Wilson. The Jags defense is balling, bro. Like, I need to look up their usage and how much points they're giving up a game. It's wild. Yeah, Jags building a good defense out there. So best DB, you got Jared Wilson at 1, Kevin Byard at 2, Rock Singh 3, Levi Wallace 4, and Nathan Wake at 5. Nathan Wake's balling, man. Best kicker right now is Michael Badgley 1st, Seabird 2nd, Harris Buckner 3rd, Prater 4th, and Josh Lambo 5th. All right, moving over to the NFC, we'll do Offensive Player of the Year right now is Antonio Gibson. The Falcons is probably going to get DB a nice Christmas gift by trading him, Antonio Gibson. He's making a name for himself. He's 7-3, behind his usage. Miles Sanders is 2, Raheem Mostert 3, Christian McCaffrey 4, and Aaron Jones 5. Number 6, you got Defensive Player of the Year. Eric Kendricks is number 1 there. Isaiah Simmons is 2. Emmanuel Mosley is 3 for this is Defensive Player of the Year. Jeremy Chin is 4. I think that was the D lineman guy I was talking about. There's a no-name guy that Jokey's building. So he's number 4 in Defensive Player of the Year right now. And George Odom is 5 for the Saints. Offensive rookie of the year right now is Floyd Kennan, running back who was drafted late, I want to say 3rd round by the Seahawks. So he's number 1 right now for rookie of the year. Vince Baber is 2. Talked about him earlier in the pre-med. Harvey Harris is 3. Taj Purnell is 4, and Joe Hunter is 5. Number 1 in defensive rookie of the year, Joe Davis, who was probably a later round guy. Oscar Wiggins, Pat Matthews, who we talked about before, Josh Cabrera is number 4, and the Jadarius Landry is number 5. Eagles got some sleepers out there. He got some rookies out there that he's putting in the lineup. He's definitely getting some work out here. So Pat Matthews and Jadarius Landry are competing for defensive rookie of the year. That's crazy. All right, so best quarterback, Dwayne Haskins number 1, no surprise there. Then Teddy Bridgewater, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, then Russell Wilson. Best running back, Gibson, no surprise. Miles Sanders, Aaron Jones, Raheem Mostert, and Dalvin Cook. Our receiver for number 1 right now is Rico Gafford for the Saints. Emmanuel Hall is 2. Terry McLaurin is 3. Curtis Samuel is 4. And DK Metcalf is 5. For O-line, top of the list is Zach Martin. Zach Martin's top of the list there. Best D-line right now is Yannick Ngakoue, number 1. Now check this out. Yannick is number 1. Danielle Hunter's 2. And he drafted a guy that's getting in the mix as well. So he must be running like a NASCAR package on 3rd down to get all them D-linemen in the game that they can wreak havoc. So the Vikings got a good D-line out there, boys. Look out. Cameron Jordan's 3. Grady Jarrett's 4. And Fletcher Cox is 5. Funny enough, Aaron Donald's 7th on this list. That's wild. Linebackers, best linebacker for right now. Eric Kendricks number 1. Drake Greenlaw is 2. Jalen Smith is 3. Devin White is 4. And Davion Taylor, another Eagle, is 5. Man, the Eagles got a little bit of sleep going on here, man. Watch out for that lineup, bro. And so, around of the best DBs, we got Emmanuel Mosley at number 1. We got George Odom at 2. Jeremy Chin, who's a DB, actually. He's not a lineman, he's a DB. Jeremy Chin is number 3. Isaiah Simmons, 4. Tavarius Moore is 5. So yeah, those are the top 5 DBs for the NFC right now. And best kicker is Will Lutz, rounding that out for the Saints. So yeah, so let's check the standings real quick before we get out of here. See what guys sitting at as of the end of week 9. Oops, I'm the schedule. All right, let's see. So we got. Alrighty, so the NFL standings right now. So we start with the AFC. The Colts are 9-1, Chargers are 7-3, the Raiders are 6-3, the Browns are 7-3, Jags are 6-4, Broncos are 5-5, and the Titans are 5-5. Bengals are in here. Of course, they got a flip flop. Bengals are 6-4, and the Ravens are 6-4. And then the Chiefs outside looking in with their 4-6. So the NFC, we have 8-2 49ers team, with 9-1 Cardinals team. It's actually technically number 1. You also got it. That's how you that NFC West, man, it's crazy. The 49ers are 8-2, the Cardinals are 9-1, and the Seahawks are 8-2. So yeah, it's a dogfight in there, man. You can mess around and have 3 playoff teams in there, 1 win a division and 2 wild cards out of 1 division. So anybody that's not winning the division right now, that's not in the NFC West, you might want to get on the ball because you might be sitting at home with a good record if you have to deal with these boys here, because they only seem to be losing to each other. So the Vikings are at 8-2 as well. The Saints are 6-4. The Panthers are 7-3. The Washington football team is 7-3. The Falcons are 7-3, and the Packers are 5-5. And the Bucks, who should be playing right now, actually, are 5-4. And the Eagles are 5-5. Cowboys are 5-5. So yeah, that rounds that out. 500 or better. So yeah. So that's gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate everybody listening to the video. We're about a good half hour. We got to get this in real quick, and we'll do our season awards at the end of the year, and we'll talk about how things shook out with the season, season 2. Appreciate everybody dedication and time is in the league so far, and everybody playing their games. So we'll crown a new champ. We saw KC get his first trophy, so hopefully somebody can prevent him from getting another one. Yeah, I said it, and yeah. Hey. Yeah, because he had to beat me to do it, so I'm hating. Yeah, I took a page out of D-Bear's book. Yeah, I did it. So yeah, man. But shout out to KT for winning though, man. He did his thing. But overall, man, Maisie might not think so, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, man, we're gonna try to get our shows back on in the air. Try to do some around the NFL live and try to do some preview shows and some breakdown, stuff like that. We're gonna try to get this back going, but you know, things are kind of crazy right now, so we'll try to fit it in when we can. But appreciate everybody's support and their time, and we'll see y'all in the next video, man. I'll holla.